I'm facing some technical difficulties. You're kind of seeing my image and my sound in delay. I'm working on that. We're working on it. So Lachlan is going to take over right away. Enjoy the
Perfect.
session. And
Giddy up.
I'm just gonna mute myself.
Perfect. All right, guys, it goes. So thank you, everybody. Hope you're absolutely magic. Again, as we say every week, guys, big shout out to the Trading Pit. Big shout out, guys, for helping Samurai not only grow, but get the word out, guys, globally about what we do. Now, I'm going to say hello to everybody. Let me grab your chat function. So I trust that everybody can see, everybody can hear. MJ, how are you? I hope you have had a magic day wherever you are in the world. And I know you were traveling, so I hope that that's gone really, really well. Hold on one sec. All right. So guys and girls, it has been a very big 24 hours. Very, very big 24 hours in the world financial markets. As you are no doubt aware, the US has decided to slowly, very carefully start reducing interest rates. Just like anything in the US, there's a whole lot of people that are saying they didn't go far enough, and there's other people saying they went too far, and here we are right in the middle, staring down the barrel of contract rollover, which should actually be quite good fun. So, welcome. As we're going to get started, early. There's going to be a lot of trading on today. The markets are very busy. As S&P volume is literally hovering just under 65,000 already, starting to climb quite quickly. So I do hope you are well, guys, wherever you are. Let's rock and roll. We're going to run through the slides first. As we are live today on a number of different social medias, right? So we'll run through these slides because, again, particularly with YouTube, as this one's actually going to be put up on YouTube, and what we want to do is we want to make sure that we've got all of these boxes ticked, guys, in terms of compliance, which is really, really important. So, guys, first and foremost, welcome to the live trading room. I'm going to take you for the session today. My name is Lockie, guys. I work with Samurai Day Trading out of Singapore. Guys, now we use a live trading room. Fundamentally, guys, I've been using a live trading room since around about August, September of 2009. Guys, there's 4 reasons why we ultimately do this. Immediate proof of performance. We want to build confidence in the strategy. There's ultimately nowhere to hide. Guys, there's a lot of people out there in the world that will basically try and forecast where the world is going. Guys, we don't do that. We basically call the signals live in real time. Now, all of those signals, guys, are as per the 101 day trading education course that is run by Samurai out of Singapore. Guys, the 101 course is currently being updated for the 2026 launch, which should be a lot of fun. Guys, should be a lot of fun. Suffice to say, guys, everything we're going to be doing today is straight out of the 101. Now, that being said, guys, we're going to do AMA format. Guys, AMA format. So if you've got any questions at all, particularly if those questions are in the last 15 minutes of the hour, generally speaking, we don't take trades in the last 15 minutes because that's when the market gets a little bit difficult to predict. As primarily, that's because the bigger traders, the 30-minute and 60-minute chart traders, start weighing in on the market. And as a result, as we normally get all of our trading done in the first 35 to 40 minutes anyway. So again, that won't hinder our performance today. Now, as I've been asked even more questions. So off the back of last week, we started talking about the importance of trading psychology as the FTAX goes absolutely nuts to the high side. As I have been asked this question about 1 million times. So what I want to do is I'm actually just developing a video series for you on this at the moment. As dare I say, for those that are watching out there in the world, as the foundation for success in trading, as I'm not going to poo-poo what other people do. What I am going to suggest potentially is that there are thousands of different opinions out there in the world about how to trade the financial markets. Now, one of the worst things you can possibly do, guys, is go and study thousands of strategies and try and kind of trying to make a milkshake or a bit of a hybrid strategy. So what I did instead, guys and girls, and what I strongly suggest you do, is I would love you, if you're new to trading, if you're thinking about getting really good at trading, if you want to be a professional trader, I would target a strategy that is actually working in real time, and you can actually see proof of the strategy working in real time. Guys, not this historic proof like, wow, I wish we bought, everybody bought Bitcoin when it was 1 cent. Guys, that's historical performance. That's not very good at building a trading psychology. But what I want you guys to do is primarily target a strategy that actually works in real time. What we're then going to do is we're going to build knowledge and expertise, and most importantly, profit using that actual strategy. Right? So when we first start, we want to find a strategy that actually works with trades being called in real time. So you can say, you know what, I know exactly why that trader did exactly that. Guys, the reason you want to do that is you want to build knowledge, expertise, and also profit using the actual strategy that you're witnessing in real time. What that enables you to do is develop discipline and also profit. Why? Because you'll have a measurable performance expectation. Right? What does this mean? As if you're coming to the LTR today and you say, right, Lockie, I'd like to make $100 today, please. Very, very easy, very, very low expectation, very, very easy to satisfy. As in what we're doing is we're basically following a cycle. All we do is just follow exactly the same rinse and repeat cycle every day. You target a strategy that actually works, you build knowledge and expertise around using that strategy. That results in profit, that increases your confidence, that increases your discipline, and you basically roll around in this cycle, guys and girls. Now, I'm developing a video series for you on this. I call it the Trading Success Cycle, simply because this is exactly what I did when I started trading, guys. And the number one thing I'd suggest to everybody is please focus on one trading system as opposed to a million different trading systems. Otherwise, guys, you'll become, you know that saying, guys, you become something and the master of none. What's that saying? There's something and the master of none. An expert on everything. That's it, Juice. That's it. A jack of all trades and a master of none. Now, you've probably heard that before. Well done. Yeah, exactly right, guys. So we do not want to be the jack of all trades and the master of none. We just don't want to do that. All right. So, guys, I'm going to build on that throughout the session today, guys and girls. We're going to be following exactly the same trading rules we have been since 2009. We're very, very boring, but it's worked very well this week. So we're going to just keep doing the same thing. So, guys, speaking of compliance and what we need to run through, firstly, I need to mention futures and CFD trading both involve risk. There's two risks in trading. There's a risk of making money and also losing money. It's because we are trading on margin. It means we borrow a little bit of money every time we take a trade. As it means that our loss can be larger, our win can be larger. So what we ultimately focus on is professional risk control. Now, everything we do is general information only. Past performance of all financial products, guys, can no longer be used as an indication of future performance. And today, guys, because we're trading over the internet, I'll do my best to guide you in and out of the market as I can, guys. But because we are trading over the internet, we have a market risk factor. Just because I call a trade, guys, just because I identify an entry point or exit point, as there is no guarantee you'll be able to copy the trade. Now, ironically, that guarantee works two ways. You could actually get a better fill than I do. You could get a bigger target than I do. So it's not all negative. Mind you, in saying that, we do have to mention everything that I've just been through. Okay, now as we roll through, guys, a little bit of an introduction for me personally, guys. I'm the head coach and presenter with Samurai out of Singapore. Very, very thankful, guys, to the Samurai team. Guys, they're absolutely lovely. As again, I started my education on the 1st of August 2007 when I discovered the difference between futures trading and Forex trading. Guys, fast forward to today, I started my own trading school, guys, in Australia on the 1st of August 2009. So literally 2 years into my career, I started a trading school, guys, simply because there were no decent trading schools in Australia, guys. Now based out of Singapore, guys, and everything is moving in the right direction. Now, Instagram. As if you're a fan of Instagram, that's actually growing quite quickly, guys. So Samurai Day Trading on Instagram, YouTube, as we are literally a whisker, okay, a YouTube whisker away from hitting 200,000 views on YouTube. Right? So people are now really starting to watch what we're doing and taking notes and putting comments and similar things, which is really, really good fun. As if anything I do today, if you want to reach out to us regarding anything we do, be it the 101 course, guys, indicators coaching, live trading room, one-on-one coaching, that brings up a really good point. One-on-one coaching. As I'm getting a lot of people asking, right? So again, offer for everybody here. I'm getting a lot of people asking, Lockie, I'd like to transition to the FDAX. The reason being is in the European Open live trading room, we're getting 5 to 6 very, very clear winning trades on the FDAX every day. As how do I do that? All right. So tomorrow, guys, in the actual Samurai live trading room, guys, I'm going to log in 30 minutes early to that LTR. So 30 minutes early to the LTR session tomorrow, guys, and actually run through, if you wanted to transition across from the NASDAQ, for example, to the FDAX, guys, what would the signals be? You know, what are you going to be targeting? I'll do a good job, guys, of helping you in and out of the market, guys, regarding those same principles tomorrow. Okay. So that being said, guys, advanced course, again, I was asked during the week, guys, the advanced course is available up until the 30th of October. Guys, it starts on the 2nd of November. Guys, you can attend online from anywhere in the world. So if you're going to come to that, please do come and say hello. Kay, how are you? Hope you're brilliant. Steve, hope you're awesome. So guys, what to expect out of the webinar today? We're going to follow exactly the same format we did last week. Guys, again, this format's been around since 2009, guys, so it's not a new format. We are going to focus on letting the market do the heavy lifting. Guys, the reason being, yes, Marcus can do that. Very, very easy to do. Guys, let the market do the heavy lifting. What does it mean? That the market, guys, is going to, so the market will generate for you your trade entry, your trade exit. It'll tell you how much risk you need. It will tell you exactly how long you should be in a trade. So guys, if you're a 5-minute trader, you would be looking at the 15-minute chart as a guide. If you're a 15-minute chart trader, looking at the 60-minute chart guide. So I'll try and do that, guys, as best as I can today. So the screens, guys, the screens will be laid out as they are there. Just for everybody notes, the S&P 500 is a guide to the NASDAQ. Guys, the FESX is a guide for the FDAX. Hello to Austria. I hope you are fantastic, guys. Ralph has just logged in from Austria. That's it, guys. Normally in this webinar, I find it quite exciting, guys, but normally in this webinar, we start with around about 10 to 12 countries represented. Guys, and when we look at like literally right in the middle of the webinar, when we've got the most people, guys, it's up to 20 different countries logging into this session. So I think it's fantastic. So what we're going to focus on today, again, we're going to focus primarily, guys, on the 12 points over there on the left-hand side of this slide. Now, the ones that I focus on very, very heavily, guys, when it comes to calling signals will be CSA, which stands for candlestick analysis. So what we're doing is we're analyzing one candle compared to other candles and making decisions based on who is in control of the market. Klaus, how are you? You're fantastic. So thank you for the emoji, Klaus. That's my first emoji for the day. So thank you. I appreciate that. Guys, we'll focus very, very heavily on delta trading. What is the delta? The delta is a mathematical algorithm that runs behind the charts that tells us where the institutions are likely to be buying the market. So what we're actually doing is we're hunting institutional orders, guys, or we're following what the institutions are doing in the background and then plotting the actual signal on the chart for you so you can copy it, right? That's what we're after. Right, now, all the way down the bottom, ratios and candle dominance are going to be absolutely huge. Guys, I started literally studying candle dominance in 2009, early 2010. And guys, finally, guys, probably the oldest one, all the way down the bottom there, guys, ABC and stair step. Guys, that's the first thing I learned when I started learning to trade was actually the stair step of the market. Guys, that was, I was in 2007. So this has been around for a very long time. Now, what we're going to do, guys, let me get rid of that. I've got my charts here. Now, first and foremost, guys, we are in the middle of contract rollover on the FDAX. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to show you very, very quickly how to check the contract rollover. As I said to Arlen when we came in, the FDAX is running. So the FDAX has just gone. Not yet, but it's about to wreck all my Fibonacci. That's all right. Let me just move some stuff around. As I will turn that camera off as well. Okay, so we basically get full charts and nothing but charts. Now, let's do a quick volume check, guys, because at the moment we're transitioning from the old FDAX contract to the new one. So at the moment, I've got 794 contracts on the new contract. On the old contract, I've got 927. So guys, at this point in time, the weight of the contract is on the old, not the new. That's probably going to transition around about 30 to 35 minutes into the trading session. All right. So what does it mean? At this stage, my Fibonacci is safe at this stage. Just wait and see what happens. All right. So for the FDAX traders, guys, most importantly, let's come to the daily chart. You are loading an absolutely incredible daily reversal long for the European-based traders. Guys, there is a very, very important Fibonacci here, guys. This big orange monthly Fibonacci running through the chart there has obviously caught the market perfectly today. What I would suggest at this point in time, ladies and gents, these markets are likely to go down first before they go up, right? Likely to go down first before they go up. We do have a gap to close on the European market. Can everybody see the gap between the little red body and the bottom of the green? So we do have a gap to close mechanically. Guys, that needs to be closed inside the current contract, which would suggest these guys are likely to go down first before they go up. Now, that doesn't guarantee they're going to do that, guys, because they might try and close it in 4 to 5 hours time. Right, so we don't know just yet. Okay, we'll know very, very quickly on today's open. Now, what I want to highlight to everybody for the European-based traders is at the moment you've loaded two very, very powerful reversals long. Guys, can everybody see this little gap? We've got to close. Yep, still going to close a gap. So I'm thinking that the Europeans might actually favor selling down first, closing the gap, getting stuck at these keys, Fibonacci's, turning around and coming back the other way. For those people that are looking for that longer term massive trade, as you're probably going to wait the first 15 minutes of the cash market to let all the noise come out. You want all the noise out of the market before we actually determine what direction they're going to be doing. On the 60-minute chart, guys, the gap becomes even more obvious. Okay, so some of you say, well, Lockie, what is the gap? So this little green candle is where they closed trading yesterday. This is where they've opened today. This here represents a data gap in the market. Guys, that is something we need to keep a very, very close eye on, because typically they'll go and close that gap. Now, they don't have to close the gap today, but mathematically the gap must be closed at some point in time. Otherwise, there will be people, guys, that are literally gapped out of the market with what we call unexpired contracts. Now, what I'm going to do, guys, this Fibonacci here, really, really important. So hello, everybody. Hope you're fantastic. Diane, how are you? Remy, how are you? I've drawn my Fibonacci down on the 60-minute chart in order to catch them on the way up. Guys, the top of this Fibonacci is very, very important. If we close outside this Fibonacci range, it's highly likely they're going to try and buy the market. If we close back inside the Fibonacci range, guys, reversals underneath that 88.6 Fibonacci, back down towards the close, looking really, really good. Okay, so at this point in time, as I would prefer to make my job easy, we start in 11 minutes and 53 seconds. I would really like them to close inside this Fibonacci range. Right, so if you guys are thinking about doing me a favor, FDAX, please close inside the range. That'd be brilliant. Levels to keep an eye on, guys. Can everybody see this pink fib down the bottom here, that 88.6 Fibonacci? Market got stuck on it. Absolutely perfect. MJ, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they have swapped over, guys. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people are swapping to the new contract. Normally, we wait for the transition, guys, from the new to the from the old to the new. The transition might happen almost instantly. Okay, so just watch out for that. Again, I'll guide you guys as best as we can. Contract rollover only happens 4 times a year. Okay, gears are swapped over. There's the orange level we got to be aware of. Guys, to just be aware, we've got 423 and 435. Both of those are 4-hour long. So if we do sell down, guys, fail early in the trading session, we're looking for really, really big long-range longs would be fantastic. Guys, we've also got a 480 here as a daily swing trigger long. So if the sellers were to sell down, fail down here at the pivots, turn around and come back the other way, guys, we're going to pick up a series of very, very large, long-range, high-target longs. Right now, that works in perfect agreement with what the US is doing. Right. So last night we got a positive out of the US. Right, so I'll go to the S&P 500. We got a positive in that they've dropped their interest rates, guys, by only 0.25%. What does that mean, guys? We're dealing with the 2025 all-time high on the S&P 500. Let me just put that on for you there. 2025 all-time high. We'll put it, guys, really, really obvious. It's just shy of the R1. So that offers an incredible reversal. As if we start to run to the high side and get caught, there's an incredible reversal up here. As I note with interest, both of the US markets are already in very, very strong 60-minute shorts. So if these buyers on the S&P and NASDAQ, guys, if we pushed, honestly, guys, if we pushed for the S&P traders anywhere near, everybody see this little static bar reversal here? If we pushed anywhere near that one, guys, on the open of Europe, if we pushed anywhere near this little one over here, the little red one, guys, or if we got anywhere near this, there's a beautiful triple cluster of SBRs, guys, very, very similar to yesterday. Guys, triple cluster of SBRs. In fact, guys, there's a triple cluster of SBRs in the YouTube video from yesterday as well. So if you want to watch what we're doing on a daily basis, if you want to watch what we're doing on a daily basis, guys, that YouTube, it's literally just Samurai Day Trading. We put up a YouTube short, only 60 seconds, guys, put it up there every day. Basically, here's the trade of the day. These are the reasons why. This is what we learn out of the day. Guys, we're getting a lot of positive feedback, guys, on that, which is very exciting. So at this stage, guys, I want you, again, I'm going to tighten this in. I'm going to tighten this in for you. We need to keep an eye on all of these levels just here. All right, the reason being is we've got yesterday's high, guys, really, really important point. Again, if you draw Fibonacci's up, you've got the 50 fib running through here as well. I do believe at this stage, believe this stage, this 90% daily Fibonacci is incredibly important, guys, because it is a 60-minute short. So if the buyers do push up, guys, on the opening candle, fail and turn around and wrap back over, guys, you're looking at a really, really lovely 60-minute short off that 90% fib, guys, at 6688. All right, so really, really important point. So we'll expand this out, guys, get the candles nice and fat. We've got around about 8 minutes to go, so we've got a ton of time. I'm just going to bring this in. Guys, I'll try and sort of reduce the detail on the screen, guys, give you enough to know what we're expecting and give you enough for a really great trade. All right, now NASDAQ, guys, absolutely incredible stuff. First things first, that daily Fibonacci, see that 100% Fibonacci there? That is in the wrong, it's from over there. No, that's really important, actually. Now, guys, while we're here, it's actually a really, really great lesson. Really great lesson. So, guys, if you've ever studied anything that I do, guys, the what we call the spine or the baseline of your Fibonacci is always drawn from left to right, guys. It's never drawn from right to left. Okay. Now the reason being, guys, we don't have time to get massively into it, but these guys here, guys, these Fibonacci's are not palindromic. So the 23 fib is very, very different to the 76.8 as an example. So I've drawn this Fibonacci down, guys, in order to catch them on the way up. The reason I've done that is because if we get stuck, all right, on the NASDAQ here, guys, if we get stuck underneath these very, very key Fibonacci levels, okay, let me just try and make this circle. You can see I've got snap mode on. If we get stuck, guys, under these blue Fibonacci's just here, okay, so the 88.6 and the 90, guys, if we got a bit of a sell down, then a wrap around, or we get a really, really nice efficient candle closing under those 90s, particularly, guys, at the 15-minute turn. So when the 15-minute candle closes, or particularly the 30-minute candle. Diane, technically, we have not rolled over yet, but some of the funders out there are saying, please move to the new contract. So I would suggest at this point in time, probably best off moving to the new contract. So Diane, great question. What we're searching for today, at this point in time, the American traders are looking for the buyers to run out of steam relatively early. Then we're looking for really big sells. Now, Diane, the key with that today, though, is Europe's got the lead. Europe's got the lead. If Europe decides it wants to go a little bit crazy to the high side first, then we've just got to be careful. We don't kind of assume that the NASDAQ is literally just going to roll with the Europeans. Now, that said, guys, okay, a couple of comments for the NASDAQ traders. If we sell hard first, watch for a daily short. Now, guys, the daily short, again, if we do sell, that's a lot of selling. Guys, we've got this beautiful daily short at this 141.4 fib extension. Now, to give you an idea of where that is, this is ridiculous. Okay, all the way down there. So if we were to push up, fail really, really nicely on the 5-minute chart, guys, then we get a complimentary 15-minute chart trade. We're going to try and hold them for around about 45 minutes. If for some reason, guys, Europe just decides to fall out of its tree, then yes, if we start moving down towards this 141.4 fib extension, guys, that one right there on the screen. So if we get down to 24,500.61, then these guys are going to tank. All right, they are going to tank. Very, very impressive stuff. At this point in time, guys, we'll just assume that they're not going to do that. Europe's got no real reason to tank today. There's no high impact news. We have Lagarde actually speaking today, but again, yesterday, the effect of Lagarde was absolutely nothing. So absolutely nothing. Shelton, it's a good point, guys. Some of the US closed live trading room traders today did more than 200 ticks, guys, more than 200 ticks. So please don't forget, guys, we have a US closed live trading room as well as the European Open, guys. And we are working very diligently, guys, on a US Open live trading room as well. So young Arlen, guys, young Arlen and I are working on that. Guys, just be careful if we do take a really big tumble. If we do take a really big tumble on the Nasdaq today, we already know about the 141.4. They're likely to move back to the 100 extension. That would take, guys, some kind of geopolitical shock in the market. I don't see any reason for that geopolitical shock, but there can be unexpected news announcements. So got to be a little bit careful of that. What I do want you to keep your eye on, guys, for the Nasdaq traders, if we push up here and we start failing again at Fibonacci's, that orange, can everybody see that orange -8 rated static bar reversal? As if we get above the entry point, it's mathematically, it's a stunning trade. Because if we get above 640, so 640, I'll write it on the screen for you. Okay, so it's very obvious. So 640, guys. If we get above 640 and fail, guys, we're looking for shorts. Okay, no question about that. If we get above 640 and fail, guys, we're looking for really lovely shorts. At this point, guys, we're going to have to basically hand over to the Europeans to see what they want to do first. I think advanced traders, you're going to have an absolute ball today. Guys, now, that said, let me just move those comments off the screen. We can go back and get them later if we need to. And guys, if NASDAQ was to sell down or S&P 500 was to sell down, guys, I am also targeting for the slightly more experienced traders. Can everybody see this -4 little static bar reversal down the bottom of the NASDAQ? Guys, that black diamond delta there has already been traded by a number of our traders and has already gone really beautifully to target. All right, so 2 minutes to go. Guys, let me do a quick volume check on the FDAX, because if we are changing contracts, so I've got 900 on the new and I've got 1,000 on the old. I think we're going to be changing relatively quickly. Okay, so what I'll do, guys, I'm going to stay on the current contract on FDAX. All right, now, if you are using funding partners, guys, they may be restricting your ability to trade the old contract because they don't want to hold the position. Guys, so therefore you would be looking now to trade Diane, for example. You'd be looking to switch to the 12 contract. Guys, best way to do that. Okay, see my FDAX charts here. You can come up here, see the little blue box, guys, the instrument link. What you can do is you can literally change this chart here to the FDAX 12 contract and all of your charts will change. Okay. So if you are, guys, if you are trading through funding partners, they are upgrading everybody, guys, to the new contract. They are upgrading everybody, which means I'm also going to have to upgrade my charts. So, guys, we'll get the open done first. Then I'll show you how to change your contracts. For those that are, let me just double think. Guys, I'm going to have to go early on this one. I do apologize, because if I can't call a trade for you, that's going to be a problem. So what I'll do, guys, I'm going to switch to the new contract. Okay, so all I do is type FDAX on the screen, double click on that. It's going to automatically change to the latest contract, all right, which is done. Double check that FDAX 12 or 25, that is correct. Now, what's going to happen is all of my labels will be in the wrong spot. So we will go and fix the labels as we need to. And what we will have to do also is update the FESX as well. So I'll call the open for you. So for those of you who are funded, guys, again, we're looking for the normal trades we always look for. We'll let the opening candle typically roll for around about 60 seconds. And then I'll start to look for your entry points. Guys, if you're a fan of the 133, extension, as I'd suggest at this stage, they're pushing beyond that extension. They are pushing beyond. So at this stage, guys, just let the opening candle go. Got to be very careful we don't get on the wrong side of the opening candle. Let's very, very careful we don't get in the wrong on the wrong side of that one. Okay, that has worked properly. I'm just transitioning guys charts at the moment in the background. So we'll let these guys roll. The pre-top reversal, guys, there is a pre-top reversal for the FDAX traders, guys, at 633. Now the risk on that's around about 25 points. Guys, so you want to be 100% certain, guys, that that reversal is doing what you're expecting it to do. There could be a different Fibonacci extension here. It's just that if you're a little bit nervous about trading the opening candle, guys, don't put a trade on. You don't have to trade the opening candle on FDAX. Statistically, it is our lowest performing trade, and yet it's still performing very, very, very well. Okay. So at this stage, guys, your pre-top reversal is going to have too much risk, right? Pre-top reversal will have too much risk. While we're waiting for these guys to cruise down, we're only 90 or so seconds we're only 90 or so seconds in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of that because it's on the old contract. Guys, I'm going to update this Fibonacci here. Right, this is the only dilemma we face when we get a contract rollover right at the start of our trading session. Guys, that can stay, that needs to snap up. Now, the reason I'm doing the 4-hour chart first is typically the FDAX, if it's going to take a bull run, it's normally going to try and go for the 50 fib on the 4-hour chart as its first port of call. Right, so let me just fix this up for you. This would have to happen right on market open. Okay, it would, of course, it would have to happen. So, guys, in terms of risk at this point in time, the 133 Fibonacci reversal, guys, is a valid reversal if you're happy to go short at 668. Now, if you are a 133 fib reversal trader on the FDAX, guys, it's a 668 for a 663. It's only a 5-point first target. Guys, now that's if you trade the 133 fib extension, guys, on the opening candle. Now, for those that might be brand new to the session, we tend to not take trades in the last 90 seconds of each of these 5-minute candles. We get so many incredible trades on a daily basis that we simply don't need, guys, to enter in the last 90 seconds. Now, again, for those that are wanting to trade the FDAX very well.
Lockie, FDAX failed at a 4-hour 50. I'm not sure if you've got that on.
Yeah, got it, mate. Yeah, just updated it, guys. So thank you, Cody.
And a 4-hour 141 as well. Yep.
Thank you. Perfect. Now, anybody that is short on the FDAX, as if you are a 133 Fibonacci extension reversal trader, you're short at 668. Guys, your first target has just been paid at 663. So well done if you have taken that short. You're getting nice work on the NASDAQ as well. Now, guys, if you're a climactic reversal trader, Cody, I appreciate the comment, mate. Very much appreciate it, guys. Cody's in the background. So if he sees something that I can't see, he's a very accomplished trader in his own right. If he sees something that I can't see, he will be talking over the top of me, which is very, very welcome. Now, the next trade for the FDAX traders, will be a climactic reversal short. We're looking for the FESX to move back inside its pre-top. As for those that haven't shorted the 133, you need the buyers to show inside the new candle fail before we then sell the market. Okay, so we've just got to be super careful on what these guys are doing, particularly on contract rollover. So what I was saying to the FDAX traders, you've got a 5-point first target and risk control. So ideally today, if you're new to trading, you want to go for a 5 or 10-point target. If you've got experience, guys, you want to go for 5s. If you've got a lot of experience, you want to go for 25 to 30 points on every trade. MJ, thank you. Appreciate that as well. So guys, I'm going to have to swap the FESX as well because it's also going through contract rollover. So again, I'll look to position the FDAX traders. So we've gone straight to the 50 fib on the 4-hour chart. Guys, the climactic reversal traders for FDAX at this stage will be sitting 2 points underneath the current active candle. Right, so your entry is 678. Right, again, same risk caveats again. As I am watching the American markets, if you are a climactic reversal trader, as I would suggest an entry at 678. The only thing that complicates that is the 50 fib on the 4-hour chart. So again, if you are going to go short, guys, I'd be sitting at 678 on FDAX. Our first risk control point is 673. Now, if you're a little bit concerned about that 4-hour 50 fib, then what you would be doing is waiting for the market to close underneath. That's a very heavy buyer hit, guys, there on the FDAX. So, guys, if you don't mind trading back down through the 50 fib on the 4-hour chart, then you're in a great spot to go short at 678. Guys, if you are going to go short at 678, your first target is 673. Guys, if you're going to try and stretch that out, guys, you want to go for a 10 or 25 point target on FDAX. What I'd suggest to everybody, you're right, you threw your first target on FDAX. For those that trade climactic reversals, you waited for the higher high, you saw the extreme volume, you put your order on outside the range of the active candle and everybody else's stop losses, as with the intent of trying to push them down. As for those that have got some experience, I want you to try and push for the 100 extension. That's going to be a 25 point trade, 5, 10, 15, 20, over 25 point trade. If you are short on FDAX, guys and girls, please try and hold for a longer target. But at this stage, you've gone through your risk control point. You have no risk on this trade, please. Zero risk. Okay, we need these guys to get through the 133 extension. Right? If they get caught here, they're probably going to try and buy again. If so, you've had a winning trade. It's not a massive win, guys, but it's still a positive trade. And we come back and we just do it again and again and again. Nice work, Paul. Well done. MJ, well done. Giz, well done. Awesome. So, guys, I'm going to come down here and switch FESX contracts. How do I do that? Left click on my chart. Okay, left click on my chart. Simply write FESX. I then double click on the blue one and it will automatically take me to the new contract. Okay, why is that important, guys? Because the FESX is ultimately our guide to everything that goes on in this session. Roger, hello, mate. Hope you are amazing. Please say hi to Joe. And that's a +5 on FDAX, mate. Well done, mate. Fantastic. All right, NASI and S&P. I'm now starting to have a look at what you guys are up to. Now, S&P 500, mate, I hope everything is amazing. Have a look at these static bar reversals over here on the left-hand side. Now, again, guys, Fibonacci-wise, the S&P 500 traders, based on your market volatility, which is over here, right? It's all defined for you. You are looking to go short for a 4-tick target first. Then you're going to cut all of your risk off, guys, and try and let your reversal run. Now, for the NASI, so S&P traders, you've come back up and you've picked up exactly the static bar reversal we identified, guys, in the pre-brief. So for the S&P traders, if you are short, guys, you're short underneath this Fibonacci here. You're going for a 4-tick first target. As it's only $50 on the first target. Ron, beautiful trade, man. You are going for a 4-tick first target, guys, and then you're going for an 8-tick and then a 24-tick third target. Guys, you're going to try and trade the S&P all the way back down the bottom of the jar. Once that 4-tick target is taken out, once the 4-tick target is taken out, then you would smother your risk on the S&P so you psychologically cannot lose any money on your trade. It's mechanically impossible. And then we're going to try and see how much money we can make out of the trade. So again, for the S&P traders, based on your volatility, guys, defined on the screen, I would say a 4-tick first target, very, very smart. An 8-tick second target, always good fun, but I certainly wouldn't have any risk on my S&P 500 trade, just in case, guys, they're not ready to reverse yet. Now, NASDAQ, guys, we've still got a bit of work to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put that sell sign all the way down the bottom where we don't need this. Fibonacci, guys, we can get rid of that. Okay, the NASDAQ, guys, is cruising into these static bar reversals over here on the left-hand side. Okay, so that little SBR there after that climactic volume, they've literally come back, kissed that entry point to the tick, and then just said, you know what, we're going to try and sell down. So what I'm going to do, guys, to complement what we're doing here, what I'm going to do to complement that, S&P, you want them to break, guys, you want them to break into slightly lower territory on the next candle. NASI, I'm going to draw a Fibonacci down to catch you guys on the way up. So once again, this Fibonacci is always drawn with the spine from left to right. Okay, spine from left to right. we can put that all the way down the bottom of the jar because we don't need that unless they tumble. All right, so NASDAQ, we haven't quite gone high enough yet to pick up a really, really awesome reversal. Okay, FDAX traders. Okay, that looks like the FESX on the new contract, guys, is rolling through to its R2. These delta buy signals, guys, on FDAX are not valid because the leading candle is not an efficient candle. Okay, so for the FDAX traders, again, we are looking for a higher high, which we've currently got. Anybody that's gone short, guys, underneath as a climactic reversal candle, guys, if you went short underneath that, obviously that's gone to target, which is good fun. Now we're just looking for the Europeans to determine what they want to do. As if these buyers keep pushing up like this on FDAX, and an R2 reversal would be really lovely. All right, for the advanced traders, guys, you're just looking for a tag of the R2 and then you're going to sell. For the junior traders, you're looking for this buying candle to stop under the R2. Then we're looking for a higher high for an R2 based reversal. All right, I hope that's clear enough. Now that I have updated my charts, I do need to save my NinjaTrader workspace. The reason being is if I change all my contracts today, and then I come back tomorrow and I don't save my workspace today, what I'm going to be doing is opening my charts and all of my information on the charts will be wrong. Okay, so just be careful as we transition to new contracts. Only happens for the index traders, only happens 4 times a year. So again, it's not a massive bugbear. Now for the FDAX traders, guys, I'll put on your 25-point target, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That target there is a really, really good FDAX target. So now the first 15 or so minutes of the market is about to go. Guys, if we start picking up pivot-based reversals, I'd encourage people to control your risk quickly, go for big targets. Ron, you did very well on the FDAX yesterday as well. Now, guys, that does remind me, now we're starting to get proper numbers in the LTR. As tomorrow, before the normal Samurai European Open live trading room, so those people that are members of Samurai, I'm getting a lot of people asking, Lockie, I want to transition to the FDAX. How do I do it? So because I've got a lot of people asking, what I'm actually going to do is start the live trading room tomorrow, 30 minutes early, and go through what I would personally do if I was transitioning to the FDAX from other markets. Right. So guys, 30 minutes before, in fact, Cody's running the LTR tomorrow. So guys, 30 minutes before Cody starts, I'll jump in and I'll do a quick, if I was transitioning to the FDAX, this is what I would do. Then I'll hand over to Cody. Cody can do his stuff and goes off we go into the LTR. Okay, which should be really good fun. So yeah, guys, anybody that wants to transition, even the current FDAX traders, if you want a couple of little tips and tricks, more than happy to help you out. The FDAX is my primary income earner, as that's the one that I've chosen to master. Why does you say S&P goes short? Level 2 data are more than long. It takes the high for today. So Reinhard, at this point in time, we are watching the S&P 500. We're watching the S&P 500 in conjunction or in combination with Europe. At this stage, if you are a short range trader on the S&P, we look for the S&P to buy up, blow up its volume. We go short underneath these little trades over here on the left-hand side. And we literally go short for a 4-tick target, 8-tick target. And then if it runs, great. If it doesn't matter. Now, I would suggest that while Europe continues to buy, so guys, please be careful on FDAX. We're not taking trades in the last 90 seconds of the candle. While Europe continues to buy, the S&P 500 and NASDAQ will try and wander to the high side, no question. If we start getting caught over here at these static bar reversals on the S&P and also the NASDAQ, we're going to pick up this incredible blue Fibonacci on the American markets, pick up this beautiful blue Fibonacci here, and then we will pick up a lovely trade. There's no question. We've just got to be a bit patient today, guys, just a little bit patient. And the best way to do that, Reinhard, is we look for a dual market confirmation. What does that mean? If you're a NASDAQ trader, we're looking for the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 to generate the same signal at the same time. Okay, now I'll show you what they're doing on the slightly larger charts. Guys, we've got no new trade. We've got no new trade on the FDAX at this stage. All right, so no new trades. Down here, mate, let's have a look. So 60-minute chart. What we've actually, guys, at this point in time on the 60-minute chart, we are currently in a 60-minute chart swing trigger long. Okay, so if we do get a really, really lovely, efficient candle on the S&P and NASDAQ, then we will be going long. We don't have that at this point in time. What most traders in the world would be looking for is the buyers to push up. Yeah, the buyers to push up here. Again, if the buyers push up and start breaking into new territory, we're going to get very, very strong 5-minute chart candles, and we're going to join that buying momentum. If they push up and basically get to these key Fibonacci's and fail, if they do that, then we're looking for really big shorts. So because we're on contract rollover today, as I said, only happens 4 times a year. Because we're on contract rollover, we've just got to be very, very careful that we're getting all of our Fibonacci's in exactly the right spot. Looks like the S&P, guys, looks like the S&P might be trying to push towards its all-time high, which is great. How do we deal with that? Guys, can everybody see you've got this big efficient candle here right there? So big 5-minute candle with the 2 strength rating underneath it. That tells us for the S&P 500 traders, you're allowed to buy the market long over the top of that candle, provided you've got a 4-tick first target. Okay, 4-tick first target and risk control. As I said, it's only $50, but we don't yet know what Europe is going to do. At this point in time, Europe is buying. If these buyers run out of steam, we're going to pick up wholesale shorts everywhere. It's probably going to be on the turn of the 30-minute candle. Guys, that will generally give us some very, very accurate guidance as to what these guys might be thinking. So at this stage, guys, we're in a reversal long on the 30-minute chart. So for those that do trade leading into the session, can everybody see here? You've got that -19 rated candle. It's a very, very strong reversal long. What we're ultimately doing on the 30-minute chart, we're running up here. If we get caught right at the top, it's right at the top. You can see that little -2. If we get caught right at the top there, we're going to pick up a really, really lovely short, and it's going to go a long way. Now, what we do need is we do need these guys to agree with each other. At the moment, we've got the S&P setting up valid buying signals, whereas we've got the NASDAQ not really that confident about what these guys are doing. Now, the swing trigger traders, those that look for a swing trigger, we had identical signal yesterday. So for the swing trigger traders, Jürgen, you might have actually, you've traded a swing trigger long. So Jürgen, well done. So guys, Jürgen's gone long over the top of this 2-rated candle here. Hey guys, if the markets break out to the high side here, we're just going to let them break, guys, let them break. We'll look for the buyers to run out of volume. The NASDAQ has literally just challenged the all-time high. S&P is about to do the same. For those that are looking for a short range short, guys, if you're looking for a short range short, now what I mean by that, for those people that are not aware of what we do, as you would be looking to short the NASDAQ at exactly 645. So exactly 645. If you can get the market to move 10 to 12 ticks in your favor, you would cut your risk off and let your profit run. Okay, that's for slightly more advanced traders. You're looking at a Fibonacci reversal underneath the 88.6. Now, for the new traders, ideally, we don't want to get filled on that trade in the last 90 seconds of the candle. So at the moment, we've got 33 seconds to go. So for those that want to be careful, guys, you're not going to put your sell order on now. You're going to wait 26 seconds. You're going to look for the buyers to try and push into the market, fail again, and then you're going to put your short on at 645. Just hold on one sec. Now, let me just have a look here. Guys, I took my eyes off the FDAX. I do apologize. That black diamond delta is actually a valid long. Well, it's the leading candle's an efficient candle. I do apologize, guys. So I'm not going to mark that up. Did anybody by any chance get that delta long? For those that have delta indicators on their charts, did anybody get that delta long? If you did, guys, if you did, just to understand the mathematics of it, you've got a 30 rated candle long, incredible candle. The delta is outside the range of that candle. It's a valid long. Guys, you've got exactly the same signal occurring on the FESX. So if you did take that trade, guys, if you did take that trade on FDAX, your entries as per the black diamond, guys, at 734, and you're looking for a 25-point target. Guys, we've also gone through that. Okay, now, righto, NASDAQ and S&P 500. So we've got climactic reversals, guys, on both markets simultaneously. Now, what does that mean? Can everybody see you've got this extreme volume candle here, mustard green. You've got mustard green on both the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ simultaneously. So what we now have, guys, is matching signals on both markets. Now, the climactic reversal traders on NASDAQ, you've waited for this candle to close. You've waited for this candle to close, and then you've simply put a sell order sitting there just underneath the candle as it starts to cruise along. For the S&P traders, okay, Giz, perfect. For the S&P traders, what you've done is you've waited, you've got a climactic reversal, mustard green candle. You've waited for the buyers to show on the next candle, then you've shorted the S&P 500 at 6695. Jürgen, Anna, well done. Anyone that's short, guys, on a climactic reversal, please, the delta V2s are also valid, guys. These red diamond deltas, if you're short on a red diamond delta, then try and hold short on the red diamond delta for a 50 tick target, please. So you're going for around about 250 US dollars. S&P 500 traders, you guys have got absolute classic mustard green straight off that 150 fib off the 4-hour chart. S&P traders, I want you to try and move down to that 141.4 fib extension, please. So anybody short, yeah, Jürgen, beautiful trade. Anybody short on the American markets? It's such a great question. Who asked the question before? It was Reinhard. So Reinhard, what we're looking for is at this stage, because we don't have clear guidance as to the direction the market's running, we're looking for extreme volume in this case on both the S&P and NASDAQ simultaneously. The moment that occurs, the moment they fail to break the all-time high, my traders know to use that excessive volume indicator to simply just push sell in the market and run it back down, okay? So guys, if you miss the climactic turn, the first of these red diamond deltas, you can see it on my screen there. As the moment you see that red diamond delta on my screen or your screen, if you've got the indicators loaded, guys, just push market order short, right? You want to literally join in the collapse. And I want you guys to go, okay, for a 50 tick target, which is around 250 US dollars, even for the junior traders. So ideally, we want to push down to the bottom of that yellow box. It should do that, guys, because the market will try and push down through to the R1. So anyone short on NASDAQ, guys, you're through your 50 tick target. I challenge you to hold for long range targets, please. Please, please, please hold for long range targets. Anyone short on the S&P, I want you guys to hold to that 141.4 fib extension. For the very experienced traders, guys, this looks to be a 15-minute reversal as well as a 5-minute chart reversal. So Remy, you've done 50 on the NASDAQ times 4 contracts. That is a stunning trade. Well done. FDAX, we're still waiting for our next trade to be set. Guys, you guys have got it. The FDAX traders, please keep an intimate eye, guys, an intimate eye on the timer, please. All right, you guys don't want to enter your trades in the last 90 seconds. For those that are not aware, guys, that drops the success rate on the FDAX by around 35% if you enter in the last 90 seconds. All right, we are not interested in any trade that doesn't run at over 92% strike rate. So why would you enter in the last 90 seconds when you can run at a 92 to 93% strike rate? So there's no point doing it. So again, as you get used to a certain style of trading, guys, you get used to the rules and how we do it, and it becomes very, very simple. All right, anyone that is short on the climactic reversal on NASDAQ, or you're short on the Delta V2, guys, my wife is short on the Delta V2. I think you've done relatively well, babe. All right, so guys, Akito got 40 ticks off that FDAX reversal. All right, 40. She sent me an emoji, as you could all see. But 40 ticks, guys, around about 200 US dollars. That's a good little trade. All right, FDAX traders. FDAX traders, you've got a climactic, sorry, wrong language. You guys have got a ratio-based static bar reversal short. I would love to see a little bit of buying before we enter that trade. Okay, so everybody's saying well done, Akito. So good job. At this stage, guys and girls, if you're short on the NASDAQ, we're not going long, please. We cannot assume a close over the R1. So for those that are short, all right, we wanted to go either for a fixed 50 tick target, or we wanted to get under the R1 and try and go a bit further. S&P, you're going to try and hold a little bit further. Your targets on S&P are 4, 8, and 26. Okay, 4, 8, and 26. So for the really experienced S&P traders, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sorry, 24 guys. You guys are going for 24 ticks as your long range target, please. FDAX, I need to see buyers. I need to see buyers push in. I need to see them fail at Fibonacci. All right, that is right. So FDAX, you guys are clear to enter a static bar reversal short. Guys, you're looking at a 5-point target, please. So entries at 734. Guys, first target is out at 5 points. So for the FDAX traders, we waited for the buyers to show on this candle. We waited for the buyers to show. Okay, and then we sold the market down. Okay, then we sold the market down. So what I'm looking for, NASI traders, you're staying short, please. S&P traders, you've just gone through your long range target. So guys, you can go now for as much money as you want to. As much money as you want to, please. FDAX traders, your first target is 5 points. I should wonder why I get tired after this session. Holy moly. FDAX, oh dear, I squashed my box. Hold on 1 second. All right, I've done it again. That's a shocker. So FDAX traders, your entry short is at 734. Your first target, guys, your first target is only 5 points, guys. So 729 is your first target, bottom of the box. Guys, second target, you're going for 724. For those with experience, please, you're going for 25 points, please. 25 points, about 1,000 Aussie dollars. What we've got to keep an eye on is the R2. If we crash through the R2, guys, this FDAX trade is going to be massive, right? It's going to be massive, massive, massive trade. Have I got Anna? Anna, are you still short on the S&P? Sorry, NASDAQ. If Anna's still short on the NASDAQ, we want to try and hold short. Well done, Anna. That is beautiful trading. All right, so well done, well done, well done, well done. FDAX, if these guys bang their 10-point target and then they get retraced back up, we're looking for brand new buyers to show before we sell again. And we're not going to sell again in the last 90 seconds of the candle. Paulie, well done, mate. 6 and 8 on FDAX. Beautiful trade. MJ, you got a +5. Well done. My wife has left the trading room. I'm done. She's walked off. She's walked off. Mind you, I don't want to be rude, but she's actually told to do that. It's like literally, if you have hit your daily KPI, guys, which for Akito is 200 to 250 US dollars per contract, if she's hit her goal, she physically leaves, so she's not tempted to take another trade. I strongly recommend that once you hit your goal of 200 to 250 US dollars, then just walk away, guys. Now, if you've got the discipline to switch to simulation trading and continue trading and continue training, well, that's fantastic, guys. But if you don't have the discipline to switch to sim, don't switch to sim. Walk away. Just walk away. Okay, what we want to do is we want to maximize the profit out of our NASDAQ, guys, and S&P 500 shorts. So, Anna, you're still short. A number of you are still short. If we close back over this R1, as if we close back over the R1, Anna, I would be tightening my stop simply because this will potentially look like a static bar reversal for a lot of traders. MJ, DAX bounced off the daily 50 fib at 23732. Okay, now I'll wait for the next signal, guys, on FDAX, and I'll go and fix my daily fib because all of these Fibonacci's were all drawn on the old contract. All right, so the Fibonacci's are, the pink and blue are wrong, the green is right. Guys, look at this failure at the 66 4-hour fib. Just perfect failure. Now, FDAXs, guys, what you're looking for, because the FESX bottom right-hand corner is into its R2, you guys must get a brand new higher high, or at least the buyers pushing up and failing at Fibonacci before you look for another short. Okay, before you look for another short. What does that ultimately mean? A pushback up here, a failure at these Fibonacci's here. I said buyers push in, get absolutely throttled, absolutely throttled. We're looking for another short. Okay, what we're trying to do, guys, we're trying to build a bit of selling momentum down. So when they come and crash through that OSR, oh, you see the upper OSR there. When these guys crash through the upper OSR, we want to crash through the R2 as well and run. Guys, that might require a second tier reversal. So it might require a slightly stronger reversal. A stop for the day, $295 Jürgen. That is fantastic, mate. So Jürgen, we're starting 30 minutes early tomorrow to have that FDAX chat. So if you are an FDAX trader or a wannabe FDAX trader, we'll start the LTR 30 minutes early, then hand over to Cody. Not safe trade, Daniel. Assuming you're on 1 or 2 contracts, the volume can drop into the mid 100s, and that's not going to be an issue for you. Yeah, that's not going to be an issue for you. The flip side of that also is, mate, you don't want the volatility under 15. Kironde, how are you? Hope you are fantastic. Okay, so you're using slightly larger charts, right? Fantastic. Well done, mate. Well done, well done. We do have a number of people, mate, that do use larger chart trades. In this trading room, we tend to do smaller chart trades to get all the little people up and racing, and then we do larger chart training. Right? So yeah, so the larger charts are really good fun. There's no doubt. You've just got to take a little bit more risk, as no doubt you are aware. Okay, so we've got people short on the NASDAQ, guys. So this little box here on NASDAQ, for those that are watching, is a $250 box. Our goal today, guys, was to get every trader to make at least $100. We've obviously done that now, which is good fun. So now we keep trading for the slightly more expert traders, guys, because we're looking now to try and compound in on the return. We've still got traders short on the NASDAQ, but again, I would recommend, guys, you tighten your stop loss right up. Let's tighten your stop loss right up. That would be very, very important. Very, very important indeed. Now, let me just have a look here. Okay, just checking different bits and pieces. So at this stage, the NASDAQ traders, we don't want a strong candle closing. So we don't want a strong candle closing. I can't send you long, as I can't send you long on the NASDAQ because you're assuming a close over the R1, okay, which is important. For the NASI and S&P traders that don't or are not in a trade at this point in time, we are looking for these buyers to push up and fail again, and then we're looking for a really, really obvious dual market signal. It's got to be both of them. Got to be both of them. The reason being is we're very, very quickly moving, guys, towards the last sort of 15 minutes of the hour. Ron, how are you? Hope you're brilliant. Have I got any FDAX traders that are short for long-range targets? Guys, any FDAX traders that are short for long-range targets? You've got this beautiful ratio-based trade, guys, right at the top of the chart. If you are short, guys, or if we do get under the R2, on FDAX, we are going to set up an upper OSR R2 combination trade. That's got a long way to go to the downside. Right? So the big shorts might be on. Yeah, that's okay, mate. Yeah, so no higher high. That's all right. We'll just wait for the next signal. We are going to probably get a very, very strong FDAX sell down here. As I'm going to keep a very close eye on the upper OSR and also the R2 for the FESX down here, bottom right-hand corner. If we get under the R2, guys, on both European markets, we're going to get quite a strong move to the downside, quite a strong move. If the FDAX does it by itself, guys, which it's going to try, then we would ideally want a really lovely retrace, guys, and a lovely rejection. If the buyers buy above the R2, you guys can look for an R2 reversal. Guys, let's just wait for the candle to close. FDAX, if we buy above the R2, okay, you can look for a short at 708, or you can use an order outside the range of that big red candle there. Okay, so it's a very, very strong 2-rated candle. The risk is a little bit crazy. The key point, guys, key point about that, guys, again, you've touched the R2. So for the FDAX traders, the risk is around about 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 points. So what you're better off doing, guys and girls, for the FDAX, you're better off waiting for the buyers to retrace up, fail at Fibonacci, and then we're looking for either the R2 short or outside the range of this candle. Okay, now if we get a lovely little shallow retrace here, NASDAQ traders are still short. Most NASI traders are still short. S&P 500 traders are still short. But S&P, you've gone through your long-range target, so I don't think the S&P traders are still short. FDAX, let me show you Fibonacci. We don't want to, guys, we don't want to get into an FDAX trade with 35 points worth of risk. All right, so these buyers pushing up here, guys, if they push up, 38.2 Fibonacci, perfect structure. Now you can put your sell order, guys, on at 708. So now you want to put your sell order on at 708. What you're looking for is these buyers to push through, hit the Fibonacci, get slammed like that, guys. So literally you saw that they got annihilated. We're looking for a short at 708. Guys, our risk control point from a 708 entry, our first target and risk control is 703. I was just being very, very clear about what people need to achieve. At this stage, the FESX, guys, is not below its R2. So if you're looking at the FDAX saying, why are you not responding to that beautiful sell down? Guys, the reason being is that we've still got the FESX on the other side of the R2. Very, very junior traders, guys, you can set your order underneath this monster red candle at 704. Steve, thank you. I'll go and have a look at that. 704 for the FDAX traders who want to trade this strong bar. I'll just double check its rating. It's got a 2 strength rating on it, guys. It's a very, very strong candle. Just wait for these buyers to kind of burn themselves out, and you'll probably see towards the end of the candle, the sellers get really angry at these buyers. So literally in Japan, we would say pung pung, all right? They're going to get very, very pung pung at these buyers. Now, 30-minute chart. All right, so if you're short on FDAX, guys, your time duration is around about 7 minutes on this trade. So don't just strangle it after 1 or 2 minutes, please. What I will do for the FDAX traders who are short underneath we're short at 0.8. So 0.3, guys, is your first target and risk control point. All right, now what we're looking for is we're looking for the FESX to buy a little bit and fail badly and get pushed back towards its R2. As we get later in the trading session, so we're now coming up to 40 minutes, the signals will take progressively a little bit longer. It's just the way the way the cookie crumbles. Okay, some of you on FDAX, guys, will not be able to take the trade because the risk is sitting above the top of this candle here. So at this stage, you've got around 35 points of risk. If the buyers do cruise back down, guys, and if the sellers do get underneath that large red candle because it's got a 2 strength rating on it, as if they even hit 704, then these sellers are going to collapse the buyers. It will try and occur. If it's going to occur, it'll occur fairly late in the candle. Right, so just watch them, just watch what they're doing. As they typically follow the same pattern every day. So there's no kind of surprise here. These buyers are not impressing anybody at this stage. Okay, now what are we? So 35 minutes, almost 40 minutes in, just let them go. For the American traders, guys, note what we've done. We've cruised up here. We've picked up this 30-minute chart static bar reversal short. So that's why you guys made so much money so quickly on the NASDAQ and S&P is you picked up a 30-minute short. Now, typically that 30-minute short is going to go for 90 minutes. So I don't think they've finished selling yet. But what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to push through the top of the trend indicator here. And the top of the trend indicator is bad news for the 30-minute chart sellers. All right. So anybody that is short, Alan, was that my 15? No, that's my 15. That's my 30. So yeah, so it says 15 minutes at the top. Sorry, it should say 30 minutes, mate. Let me fix that. Should say 30. You'll probably find it's the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing. So what they've done, mate, is they've picked up this 30-minute chart SPR. Good pickup. I had the wrong time frame on the chart. So they've picked up this 30-minute chart static bar reversal. Guys, they've gone back up here, reset the 30-minute chart SPR again and sold away again. Right? So if they do push up, guys, as Steve was saying, if we do push up here and we fail at these Fibonacci's again, these guys are going to tank. If we get above these key Fibonacci levels, as we get above these key Fibonacci levels on, let's say, this chart here, the 30-minute chart, if we get above these key levels, then we're going to start climbing. So Alan, great pickup. Thank you, mate. I'd somehow got my time frame mixed up. Same principle though here, guys, on the 15. There's your static bar reversal short. It's got a -2 rating. It's ridiculously strong. The buyers have pushed back up, failed at a known area, picked up that sell and got smacked, which is amazing because everybody that took the climactic reversal short has obviously gone well over 100 ticks to the downside, which is really exciting. Really, really exciting. Okay, now at this stage, so the Nasdaq, so anybody that's short, guys, obviously we've controlled our risk. You guys know how to do that. And I would love to know what you eventually ended up with on your Nasdaq trade. Now this, guys, this is a static bar reversal long off the R1 on the Nasdaq. I would be very, very careful, guys, about going long. I'd suggest what we're probably looking for at this point in time. If we get a really, really strong Nasdaq candle, all right, so they're trying to create that candle now. If we do get a really strong long, then we're going to see the longing coming in all over the place, right? So I'm just watching the FTX over here. We'll see the long come in all over the place. If these Nasdaq traders, let me get rid of this detail. If these Nasdaq traders push up and they fail on the turn of the hour, we're in for a really, really lovely trade. Okay, now FTX. As at this point in time, the orders that are sitting underneath this candle here have not been filled, right? Not been filled. If you waited for the retrace, guys, up to the 38 fib and the rejection, provided you can hold the risk on FTX, the risk is a little bit too much for most traders. Again, guys, anything over 25 points, I would be very, very careful of. 237.07. So you've been picked up on that trade. So Shelton, we may have a losing trade here. And if we do, we'll just go and get it back again. You were picked up at 707 on the FDAX. Okay, all right, that's all right. So the problem with the trade, mate, is your stop's got to be all the way up here. So that's the problem with the trade. The benefit of the mathematics is if these buyers do run out of steam, they're eventually going to turn around, come back down, get under the R2 and plummet. Okay, so we will deal with that as we need to. So at this stage, the Nasdaq traders, what have we done? We've got a climactic reversal short, all right? We've got a climactic reversal short. Okay, all of those people that are well trained know exactly how to do that. We also had the climactic reversal short on the S&P 500. Again, for those people that have climactic reversals in their trading plan. For those that missed the climactic reversal, guys, you've gone short on the Delta. Guys, that's what my wife, Akito, picked up for a 40-tick target. She did have a 50-tick target on. Guys, at touch 46, her ATM moves through to plus 40. So that's actually, the ATM has actually strangled that trade. Okay, so that's why that has occurred. All right, so we've got a negative on the FDAX. Guys, that's okay. If it's a negative trade, the market just simply didn't do what we're expecting it to do. So we will go and get that back. For those that are entering statically, guys, if you enter statically, which is outside the range of the closed candle, you can see here that the outside orders were not picked up yet. So for those that are wanting to trade the FDAX, guys, with very, very high success rate, you guys are going to be looking for a static style entry. Shelton had a negative as well. Okay. We'll just go and get that back, guys. Anna, you've done 2 times 11, a 21 and a 50. Okay, well done. That's fantastic. Okay, no, well done. That's brilliant. Now, at this stage, Anna, again, if I was short on the NASDAQ, that's because the sellers have stolen the stair step here. You've got a static bar reversal long that closed above the R1, but then it closed under. The moment these guys close, there's still a static bar reversal long over the top of the R1. That's when these guys have decided to run back into the market. So if you were aggressive, guys, if you were aggressive on the NASDAQ, you could go long over the top of this static bar reversal. try and run it through to the counter Fibonacci's that are coming from the top to the bottom. As you could do that. I would suggest, guys, we're 45 minutes into the session. I would suggest that if we get a nice little push up here and a nice fail at the Fibonacci, we'd be looking for a lovely short on the turn of the hour. Daniel, you took that trade. Well done. So, guys, for those that love ratios, as much as we've got a little indicator here that tells you to trade, as if you follow the stair step, so sellers have stolen the stair step, you're looking for the SBR indicator to trigger to say, please go long. If you are long on NASDAQ, guys, I didn't call the trade. If you are long on NASDAQ, you are ideally going to try and hold this for up to 15 minutes, right? So do I have anybody long, guys, on that static bar reversal? 24634, 24634, 24634. Okay, mate. Thank you. So at this stage, guys, anybody that is long, guys, anybody that is long on the NASDAQ, that's if you trade static bar reversals off pivots. Guys, if you are long, then you would want to try and push this one for out to 15 minutes. If they break the all-time high, which is up here, if they break and hold the all-time high, we're going to join the buyers. If they can't break the all-time high, guys, if they can't break the all-time high, we are going to join the sellers. All right, so once again, guys, we're going to have to hand it over to the market as to what direction these guys want to run. Steve, well done, mate. Toby got a 2151 on the SBR and NQ. Remy, you got a 50 and times 4. Well done, mate. Fantastic. So as some of you have taken trades, well done. Guys, it is a ratio-based static bar reversal. I mentioned it down here and said we can't take that till they close back over. Some of you have taken that trade. Because it, not to be rude, but because it's got SBR written underneath it, guys, the mathematics on that is ridiculous. So if you have taken the trade, the mathematics are ridiculously in your favor. And hey, presto, guess what's occurred? Okay, it's gone long. Okay, perfectly long. Now, at this stage, S&P did not have a static bar reversal, guys. Did not have a static bar reversal. We would be interested in more a trend continuation style trade. That said, the S&P 500 traders are probably completely finished for the day, guys. If you have, well done. If we need another trade, guys, we'll look for an R1 reversal on the turn of the hour. So, Steve, for Toby, that's a really lovely trade, right? Absolutely lovely trade. So big well done. That's fantastic. Again, guys, this efficient candle here based on the 4 rated efficiency is also a valid trade if you do trade in the last 15 minutes. At this stage, I'm looking for these sellers to run out of steam. Sorry, the buyers to run out of steam, and we pick up a really lovely sell. They may prove me wrong, guys. The mathematics at this point in time says they're going to buy, not sell. So if we do get a valid buy signal, guys, we'll jump on. If we do get a valid buy signal, we'll jump on. For the FDAX traders, we've had a negative trade, guys. We had a negative trade underneath the R2. Now, that's if you can hold around 35 points of risk. That's a lot of risk on the FDAX, only because it takes a while to get that back. But what we will do for the FDAX traders is we'll look for the next major reversal. We'll obviously go for well over 35 out to 50 points. If the FESX, guys, gets back below its R2, if we get back below the R2, then we are looking for very heavy shorts, If these guys start producing big efficient candles, guys will be looking to try and trade the FDAX all the way up to the R3, I would suggest. Let me just double check. Guys, we are definitely in the last 15 minutes. Let me just watch the S&P, guys. I'll watch the S&P first because I don't want to start doing Fibonacci on the FDAX. I won't do the bigger fibs, guys. I'll just do a smaller Fibonacci here from the top to the bottom. Okay, now what we're picking up, guys, on the FDAX, you're picking up 76 fib failure. So 76 fib failure. The deal with the 76 fib failure, guys, if you are going to try and reverse the FDAX into the hourly trade, guys, then you would need to have a very long range target to the downside, very tight risk control. For the beginner traders, we're looking for the hourly turn trade. Okay, now, NASDAQ, we cannot go short on the NASDAQ. Guys, the reason being is the S&P 500 has just gapped over its R1. Okay, we've just gapped over the R1. Now, what does that ultimately mean? Guys, I'm not going to send you long in the last 15 minutes on the Nazi. Guys, I'm not going to send you long. If we did get a nice little retracement, guys, a nice rejection, it's not a pivot-based trade. So at this stage, guys, just be a little bit careful on Nazi. This is literally the highest they have ever been. All right, now last time they got up here, they tried to get there and we picked up an incredible trade, which again was lovely. I'm thinking at this stage, the turn of the hour trade, guys and girls, if we do get it, okay, the S&P will close back under the R1 and basically drag the NASDAQ with it. FDAX at this stage, you're in your last 15 minutes. So we are looking for the buyers on the FESX to run out of steam. And then we're looking to take advantage of it on the FDAX to the downside. Reinhard, you got $770. It's a fantastic result, mate. Well done. Well done, well done, well done. So the key today, guys, now some of you might be long, guys. Some of you might want to go long on NASDAQ. I don't recommend it at this point in time. If you needed evidence to go long, you'd say, Lockie, the S&P's just closed over the R1, so I'm going long out of sympathy on the NASDAQ. As you can do that if you want to, as you can do it if you want to. The deal is I think we're getting ready for reversals, and I think the reversals are going to be fairly stunning. MJ, well done. Well done, well done. So FDAX, you've just got another higher high, which means that, again, if you're reversing these 76 Fibonacci's, your entry would be at 51. Guys, your first or your risk control point would be 46. Right, so some of you love reversing these 76 fibs. So you've reversed once, you've gone through the 5-point target. You may have reversed again. You're looking for, ideally, towards the close of the hour, a 5 or a 10-point target. If the market froze like that, guys, it literally froze like that for 8 minutes, we are looking at the most incredible short on the FDAX. I just need the FESX down here to agree. Right, that's all I want you to do is agree. That's all I want. Now, at this stage, guys, the buyers are pushing the all-time high on... Now, did they push the all-time high on S&P or did they just kiss it? No, that is the highest they've ever been. How many times, guys, how many times this year are we going to say that is the highest they have ever been? I don't expect too much resistance here. No, mate, I think the NASDAQ is going to try and keep an eye on the S&P. So FDAX traders, if you're trading the last 15 minutes, guys, all you're seeking to do, guys, is every time we get a higher high, you're trading short off the 76.8, guys, at 751. Your target is 5 points only, so 125 US dollars. You're short at 51. Your target is 46. I would suggest, as the Europeans are keeping an eye on the Americans, saying, right, you guys are into all-time highs. Let's just try and get an idea of where this can go. So again, we're in a swing. Let's have a look. No, we're not in a swing on that chart. We are in a swing trigger long on the 60-minute chart. FDAX, watch the last 90 seconds, please. These guys have got a long way, guys. He's got a long way to go. If we can get on the buyers, safely, then we're just going to sit on them as long as we can. For the sellers, guys, we'd be looking for short range shorts if we get matching signals on both American markets. To short the Nazi, guys, it might be the turn of the hour, which is around about 4.5 minutes away. I would really want this S&P to be back under the R1. Okay, we don't want to do that. 6,700. Yep, beautiful, beautiful number. I'm just going to do a 60-minute. Okay, we'll get some structure out of the market as to what they want to do. All right, so see, guys, on the S&P, we've got this culmination of the 141.4 fib and also that green Fibonacci running across the screen there. Again, anybody that's after the 161.8, even better. So there'd be a lot of S&P traders. Guys are expecting these guys to push up to around about 6,704 and fail. I see if they're Fibonacci fans, there are no retracements up here. Guys, it's literally uncharted waters. So the buyers are starting to run out of steam, guys, on both American markets. Okay, so let's just see what they're doing. FDAX again, guys, if you push up above the 78.6 Fibonacci's, ideally we want a higher high. These guys are setting up a really nice reversal, guys, on the turn of the hour, which is 4 minutes and 35 seconds away. At this stage, let me see if I can get a Fibonacci extension. I'm with you, Steve. I don't see anything stopping these guys from just climbing until we get Fibonacci extensions. All right, so that one. No, we've got a long way to go. There's a long way to go. Okay. So at this stage for NASDAQ and S&P, we need matching signals on both markets simultaneously, which we could end up with, static bar reversal. NQ close to the swing trigger 133 extension, 60-minute call. Awesome. Let me have a quick look. That one, let's get rid of that. We'll try the swing trigger. We'll try the swing extension, which looks like this. That's looking very good, right? That's looking very, very good, right? So we keep an eye on that. Again, NQ ES step change, the MDI 161.8. Alan, even more fun, right? Even more fun. 161.8. Let me just check. Yeah, so for the NASDAQ, guys, we're going to have a number of overlapping Fibonacci's. Guys, now we're not missing anything, guys, not missing anything at this stage. I'll give this one a green. Guys, just to be a color differentiate. So we're coming right into the turn of the hour. Okay, so what we're looking for, guys, 2 minutes and 38 seconds. We've got a ton of time. What we're looking for is a ratio-based static bar reversal short on both American markets simultaneously. In a perfect world, we want the buyers to show inside the new hour and fail. Right, so we need the buyers to show inside the new hour and fail. Hold on one sec. Right, guys, just sipping water. FDAX, you've got a brand new higher high. Get a brand new higher high. FDAX traders keep a very, very close eye on that FESX. That's because what we want the FESX to do, we want them to buy inside the new hour. So we want them to buy inside the new hour, fail badly, come back down towards the upper OSR and the R2. If the FESX guys can get below the R2, we've got a free fall coming on the European markets. Okay. NASDAQ, guys, is setting up an incredible ratio SBR off the 161.8 of the ABC that switched the trend. So very, very, very well done, Alan. Bloody fantastic Fibonacci work. I don't know where you got that from, mate, but that's a good one. That's a very good one. So what we're looking for, guys, 1 minute and 20 seconds. Please don't try and front run this by saying, oh, I'm just going to go short early, Lockie, in case they bolt, because they can bolt the other way first. And ultimately what I'm looking for is boom, boom, boom. Okay, your Fibonacci, mate, is probably better than mine. So I'm going to switch my fibs out. What we want to see, guys, is we want to see buyers load inside the new hour. We're going to see buyers load inside the new hour. And then we want to see those buyers get absolutely throttled. Alan, yes, whoever your coach is, they're very good at Fibonacci. So very good. FDAX at this stage, right? You guys are keeping a very close eye on the FESX, understanding that your turn of the hour trade, guys, can come up to 15 minutes after the turn of the hour. This is looking a lot like our Fibonacci's are absolutely nailing this. So everyone's watching for the buyers to push up inside the new hour. Guys, even if they gap up and then run, okay, even if they do that, just keep an eye on what they're doing. This is all going to happen very, very fast, may I suggest. All right, so at this stage, S&P buyers need to show first before we take the SBR. FDAX buyers have shown already. So for the FTX traders, guys, please go for a long range target if you had a losing trade. So FTX, the buyers showed first, you put your sell order underneath the candle. You want to try and push that down, guys, for at least 15 to 20 points, if not the upper OSR. Right now, NASDAQ traders, so right across the board, guys, right across the board, NASDAQ traders, the buyers have shown inside the new hour, allowing you to put your short order on. FTX, please go for massive targets. Like, please, please, please go for massive targets. Again, Shelton, there will be another trade, man. So if you miss the entry, that's not an issue at all. For the NASI and S&P, all right, the S&P has basically bought. They've tried to sell the market down. We might need one or two little buying spikes here on the S&P before these guys tank. Anybody short on the FTX, guys, I want you to go for at least a 25 to 30 point target, please. Okay, anybody short on FTX, please go for a big target. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I want you guys to go for 720, please. So technically you're short at 745. Now, guys, I say 720. Please go for a minimum of 720. Guys, a minimum of 720. All right, so FTX, if we break down through the upper OSR, let me get rid of that information. If we break down through the upper OSR, we're going to go for the R2. If we get below the R2, which the FESX is already thinking about doing, you guys can move your target out to a 50-point target, please. All right, if you want, guys, move it out. Like, move it out, move it out, move it out. All right, we want sound like I'm in the army. So we want you guys to move the FTX traders to try and move your target out as far as possible. At the same time, please, 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 please lock in a little bit of profit. Suzanne, I've just got traders calling me. Suzanne, if you're in the LTR, just send me a message. I think I just got bum dialed, guys. AR, MJ, 20 and 22. That's a beautiful trade, mate. Well done, well done, well done. So anyone on FTX, guys, if you did manage to get on FTX, again, we want to try and push it down to a minimum of the upper OSR. So minimum of the upper OSR, the reason being is we can pull back at least 25 points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you did have a slight negative before, guys, we've gone back and got a slight positive. Now all we need is 1 or 2 more positives, and you guys are sailing. The actual ratio here, guys, the ratio SBR off Fibonacci is textbook amazing. Right now, NASDAQ and S&P, right, what we're waiting for. Again, the buyers showed the sellers pushed in. All they would have done is push through your risk control. They wouldn't have actually gone to long-range targets. What we're now looking for on the NASDAQ is, again, we need the volume. Guys, down the bottom here, we need the volume to blow out on these American markets before we look for a short, or if we get efficient candles long on both markets, guys, then we're looking for longs to join the buying. All right, so Alan's had a negative on NASDAQ. Okay, negative on NASDAQ. Now, mate, what's your ATM? Do you control your risk automatically, or do you control it manually? Now, I use a particularly tight ATM, guys, on the NASDAQ. The reason being is I'm normally moderating. Okay, mate, that's right. Okay, so manual. I normally use an automated ATM, right? So the moment it even sniffs like it's going to move in my favor, my risk is controlled. Some days that means I get like literally a tiny little winning trade. Other days it saves me a negative. So more than happy to talk about what we do if you want to do that. Now, guys, note the FESX. So at one point in time, we were going to try and push this FTX all the way down under the R2 because the FESX was doing the same. The FESX has now failed to hold below its R2. That's why the FTX buyers are effectively back in town. I note for the FTX, the buyers still own the stair step. So once again, we're looking for selling-based reversals. So we would need the buyers to push in, fail at Fibonacci again, guys. We're looking for another short. Okay, looking for another short. Okay, so turn of the hour is done. This could have been an incredible sell down. We didn't get it, guys. We didn't get it. So they're not ready to sell yet. That's okay. Some of you made some really lovely profit out of the trade, which is brilliant. FDAX, I'm going to bring the Fibonacci back on. So let me bring the Fibonacci back on. Runs from here to here. If we were to push up, guys, if we were to push up and again, kiss this 76 Fibonacci. So if we push up and kiss the 76, we're looking for another 76 Fib reversal. I would really like these guys to get a long way above that 76, guys, before we ever crack at it. At this stage, I've got the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. Those have both given us valid buy signals to the high side based on the efficiency. Okay, so now what does it ultimately mean? As we are pushing the all-time high. Right? So if I was going to go long on the NASDAQ, right, what I would do is I would go long based on the strength of that candle, a 2-rated candle, which is particularly strong. As I would look to push out towards around about a 14 or 15 tick risk control point. So if these guys don't absolutely bolt, I can't get stuck on the wrong side of the market. As this is where we're going to have to be very, very careful. Very, very careful about going long on the NASDAQ with this amount of risk unless we've got a very, very tight risk control point. Again, I don't think the deal is there's nothing stopping these guys buying as except Fibonacci extensions. Right? And the one thing that these guys are famous for failing at is the 161.8 extension. Right, so by tight risk control, guys, I'm talking sort of 10 or 12 ticks on the NASDAQ. So the moment it moves 10 or 12 ticks in your favor, you would bring your risk positive so you can't lose any money. And then you would say, you know what, if you're going to run, fantastic. If you're not going to run, that's okay. It ultimately doesn't matter. Now, for the FDAX traders, we've picked up a really lovely trade. It went through, call it a moderate range target, 25 points. The sellers, again, are now going to try and have a crack over here as on the FESX. If we close below the R2 this time, as the FDAX is probably going to tank. Ralph, well done, mate. Fantastic. Okay, well done. All right, now at this stage, guys, let this retracement come in on the S&P. This could be the ultimate failure point here, guys. Is below the R2. Geez, second tier. I would love, if again we got 1, 2. So on the FESX, you've actually got a 3-tier reversal. So they pushed up here, then they pushed up here. So again, if we get a nice 4-point turning bar on here, if we get a 4-point turning bar on both European markets, these guys are highly likely to push through a 25-point target. No trouble at all. FDAX, mate, it's a 2-tier reversal. FESX, it's 3 tiers. We've just got to get below the R2. That's all we've got to do. We've got to get below the R2 on the FESX. And if so, it should be pretty impressive. And now we've just got to wait 1 minute and 22 seconds, which can be very painful. But again, we've just got to wait. We've got to make sure the signal sets properly. Otherwise, you can find yourself on the wrong side of the market. And again, guys, as much as there's nothing wrong with making mistakes, if you make the same mistake over and over again, guys, then you're actually not learning from your mistakes. That can become very expensive habit. Now, as anyone on NASDAQ, if you are looking for the retracement back down and then the rejection, as if you are going to go long on NASDAQ, please use a very tight risk control point because we don't know if the NASDAQ is going to be capable of pushing the all-time high. So that box there is a 10-tick box. So 10, 12, maybe 14 ticks. If you want to know where that's coming from, guys, use the volatility indicator. Just go 1/4 of the PVI. I would suggest, based on what Europe is doing, guys, I would suggest that these guys are about to tank. Right? They will have an influence on the US markets. There's no doubt about that. No doubt about that at all. I note, guys, the S&P 500 traders, you've been unable to break, guys, outside the range of this very, very strong candle. So the S&P traders are getting ready for shorts. FDAX, we were unable for the FESX to close under the R2. So at this stage, I'm not looking for a really long range short. Guys, if we were to buy the market back up a little bit, we might look for a short. If the FESX closes under the R2, then these guys, the Europeans will just tank. All right, so we just got to wait now for the target to come up. Yeah, we don't, Giz, I've front run the market before, mate, thinking, oh my gosh, the market's going to run without me. And it's a very, very expensive habit. And you kind of, you tend to make the mistake very, very early on in your trading career, guys, because there's this mentality out there, this, oh my gosh, I'm going to miss out on the next trade, you know, la, 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 this kind of stuff. Got to be very, very careful about that mentality, guys, because the futures market don't even know you exist. So unlike the Forex market, guys, where the brokers know you exist, obviously, futures, guys, no one knows you exist. So any suggestion like, oh, the FTAX knows I'm trading, or the FTAX always knows, you know, little grumble, grumble. The FTAX doesn't know we're trading. Guys, so it means we can move in the market with complete anonymity, which is really important. Now, NASDAQ traders. As anybody that is long, if you are long over the top of this candle here, if you're long over the top of the candle, all right, I would strongly suggest you control your risk around the 10 tick mark. That box needs to be a little bit lower. The reason being, guys, if these guys don't break an all-time high now and run, if they don't break that, they are going to get pounded the other way. Mate, this week, the DAX has been incredible. Andy, the DAX has been incredible this week. We're on contract rollover day, so we can't even really measure the FTAX credibility today, but it's still been good. It's still been good fun. Right, so anybody that's long on NASDAQ, guys, if you trade efficient candles, right, if you trade efficient candles, you've obviously got a 2-rated efficient candle here. So if you've traded long, guys, you waited for the retrace, you waited for the rejection, then you've gone long, or you've used the black diamond delta as your entry point. These higher black diamond deltas, guys, are valid if you are a delta trader. As ultimately, you're just capitalizing in on the market's momentum. All right, FTAX, just let it run at this point. Guys, just let it go. Note the FESX couldn't get through its R2. So look at the response from the FTAX. So can everybody see front running the market on a sell on the FTAX? Probably not smart when they're doing this kind of stuff. So again, great comment about front running. Who was that spoke about front running? Giz, that was you, mate. Never front run the markets, guys, because if you get it wrong, you will end up on the wrong side of the market, which is no fun at all. Not an easy day today, guys. Not an easy day. All right, FTAX traders, you are now looking for the 76 Fibonacci reversal that we were talking about earlier. Buyers on the stair step, you've got a higher high. Again, I would suggest at this stage, guys, the reversal short on the FTAX, again, is a really lovely reversal setting up at 750. You've got to be very careful about the last 90 seconds. So you might be better off picking up that, reversal up in the new candle. If anybody has reversed on the FTAX, guys, off the 150% extension of the OSR, okay, we got that exact trade yesterday. Guys, if you have gone short, make sure you control your risk relatively quickly and try and let your profit run. 6700.75, 6700.75, 6700.75. I've got a 150 extension there. Now, FTAX traders, last 90 seconds, just be very, very careful. If we get very, very strong European, guys, very, very strong European buy candle here, guys, then again, we're looking for R3 reversals only, please. So wow, we're looking for massive reversal. Right, so well done for the FTAX traders. You didn't try and front run the market, because if you did, you would have been stuck badly, right, which is no fun. For the FTAX, guys, this is going to give a valid buy signal. There is no question about that. Again, if I was an FTAX trader, I would be wanting to wait for the buyers to show, the sellers to show inside the next candle. Guys, I need the sellers to show, they need to fail at a known area, and then we're looking for a long. We're trying to trade it all the way to the 200% extension and the R3 up here. As now, the deal with the FDAX, guys, it's going to be carrying risk. So you have to be very, very careful about the risk on the trade. Okay, I haven't lost data. I just don't think they know what to do with the market yet. Okay, at this stage, I don't have a valid reversal short, guys. I don't have a valid reversal short on the NASDAQ. The only trade I can give you guys and girls on NASDAQ, knowing how well it performs. So these guys have literally cruised up to the 233 fib extension perfectly. You've got a daily blue 233 below here. Guys, if we push up and fail there, we're looking at a double failure reversal off the 233 extension at 690. Guys, now we would need the buyers to push well above that level, allowing everybody to get their sell orders filled before we then took a selling trade. Okay. Pushing the all-time high, guys, does make my day very difficult, all right? Because we literally don't know what these guys are going to do. For the FTX traders, you don't have that concern. That's why it's a little bit easier, guys, on the FTX today than everybody else. I note, guys, the FESX has gone climactic, so we got an extreme volume warning on FTX and FESX. Guys, it means we're not going long on FDAX. So even though the long position would be over the top of this candle here, we're not going long. We're going to turn around and go back the other way. Perfect, Corondo. Perfect. I hope that's been good fun. Hope that's been good fun. A red diamond delta, guys. If we get a red diamond delta short on the a red diamond delta short like that one on NASDAQ, guys, if you are a delta trader, there is a red diamond delta short, guys, at 681.50. Now, if you are to go short on that delta, guys, you are looking for the delta to be created, which has just occurred. You're looking to the buyers to push back away from the delta. The sellers will come and hit it a second time, and normally at that point in time, it collapses. There's no counter Fibonacci issue with that one, guys and girls. So if you are going to take the red diamond delta short, junior traders are looking for a 10-tick target only. Guys, if you want to be really careful, you can put your order 1 tick underneath the delta to make sure the sellers come in and flood that order. Let me just double check. Double check your counter Fibonacci. Okay, let the buyers come in, guys. If you want the delta, just let the buyers come in. There's no problem with that. Fibonacci looks like that. No, there's no counter Fibonacci issue with the delta. We're just waiting for the buyers to push in again, ultimately fail. I tell you what, we are looking down the barrel of is potentially the double failure reversals off these Fibonacci extensions. All right, so only for those people that trade a double failure extension, in a perfect world, I would love to see the buyers push up, create a higher high, and come back down. As if you are a 233 fib extension trader, I'm just watching the last 90 seconds. Guys, we're getting very, very late in this candle to put a short on. So what I'd suggest we do, guys, at this stage is we are going to wait for the candle to close. We're going to look for a triple fail at this 233 extension. Yeah, the drop-in ratio here, guys, on NASDAQ, if we do get a tiny little green candle here, then the delta down the bottom here is going to be absolutely amazing. FDAX, you guys, again, we couldn't fill the bigger fishing candle to the high side under any circumstances. So now you're looking for any delta short. Guys, you've got, again, you're just inside the last 90 seconds, guys. So the delta, there's V1s here. So a couple of V1 deltas short. You would want this candle to close, guys, like it is. All right, 43 seconds to go. There's a delta short here at 746. There's another delta short at 744. As I'm just looking for a V2. Okay, or guys, what you could do is once this candle closes strong, as if it closes a really strong selling candle, you could look to try and trade the static bar reversal we got on the turn of the hour. So let's just watch this candle close, guys. We want it to be nice and strong. We want a strong close on the FESX to the downside as well. NASDAQ, again, if you are a 233 fib extension double touch reversal trader, guys, your trade is going well. If you're not short, guys, you want the buyers to push in a little bit into the NASDAQ market, and then we're going to try and pick up that delta there at exactly 681.50. We're looking at a 10-tick risk control point, guys, with long-range selling targets. If this is the selling point in the market, we're going to be very well rewarded. If it's not, guys, the ATM is going to control our trade for us. I would really love the buyers to show before the sellers come in. Now, FDAX at this stage there's only 2 trades, guys. There's 3 trades on the FDAX that we're looking at. We're looking at this static bar reversal short here, guys, with an entry point at 745. Your risk, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So your risk is around about 30 points, guys. Your risk is around about 30 points for the FDAX trades. Now, our volatility, guys, on FDAX is still very good. So what we want to do is look for counter Fibonacci. Let's look for a counter Fibonacci to work out, are these sellers going to fail over the short term? Fibonacci goes up to catch them on the way down. They're straight into the 50 fib, guys, of the 4-hour chart. So waiting for that candle to close, we now know exactly what they're doing. They're mucking around this 4-hour 50 fib. Sorry, they're mucking around the micro trend 50. What does it mean, guys? It means that the deltas here inside the new candle, we need the buyers to push up inside this current candle. We need them to get absolutely slammed to pick up a sell order on that blue, to pick up a sell order there on that blue Fibonacci. Now, NASDAQ, again, guys, we've got, what have we got? Okay, so the NASDAQ has come down. It's engaged the delta. It's engaged the delta. The only danger we have, guys, of trying to sell against all-time highs is it doesn't take much for the buyers to say, ha ha, we're taking control. So what I would suggest you do for the Nasdaq is, again, if we get 3 or 4 really, really energetic pushes down and they don't start really, really running, guys, through 10-tick risk control points and similar things, then we just got to sit on our hands until we get a really valid trade. Now, that is a 10-tick box. Mathematically, the NASDAQ is absolutely stunning. S&P matching trade, absolutely stunning. I would want these guys on the NASDAQ, guys, to push down through the 10-tick target, basically reduce everybody's risk. And then if it runs, fantastic. If it can't run, guys, we're not on the wrong side of the market. All right, so I'm just watching to see what the S&P 500 is doing. The S&P is trying to trigger this reversal. Okay, trying to trigger the reversal. For the reversal to trigger, they've got to come all the way down here, guys, to the bottom of this candle. And at the moment, we haven't got that occurring. So let's just wait and see what they've got for us. I'm just looking at my NASDAQ on bigger charts. Okay, so the buyers have lost control on the S&P 15-minute chart. They've lost control on the NASDAQ 15-minute chart as well. So we might be in for a slow burn, which is never a lot of fun as a moderator, particularly when you're trading. Now, I'm just watching what they're doing. I was just watching what they're doing. We are pushing all-time highs, guys. It does become difficult on the NASDAQ and S&P 500 when they're doing this. FDAX traders, you have had a loss today, but you've also had a really, really good series of wins, which is fantastic. At this stage, the FDAX guys cannot sell down to this SBR or the delta inside the new candle, okay, because of that 50 Fibonacci just there. So we are going to find that the Europeans will try and buy a bit, but we'll see if they can generate a new signal for us. Okay, at this stage, we're not going to sell the NASDAQ or S&P 500 again. As if we get really, really high probability sell signals and literally they decide they don't want to sell, as simply because they're all fascinated by pushing the all-time high over and over and over again. Because the buying signals, if we do get valid buy signals, they're going to overpower the selling signals, which is really annoying if you're short on that delta. Normally, the market collapses when we get that exact scenario, but they're not collapsing because of these all-time highs. Okay. So at this stage, guys, don't have a new signal. I don't have a new signal on the NASDAQ. I don't have a new signal on the FTAX yet. For the NASDAQ traders, guys, if you are short on the Delta, okay, please make sure that your stop loss is in the right spot. There is not a great deal that can save us from a potential losing trade here, other than if our analysis is correct, we're on the right side of the market. All right, let me just watch what they're doing. Okay, no, at this stage, guys, I think we're going to end up with a negative trade on the NASDAQ. So I believe that's what's going to occur. Europe is actually pushing higher. The S&P 500 is trying to push higher. It's not going very well for it. So we'll just watch what these guys do. FDAX, we're looking for shorts, not longs. We're looking for shorts, not longs. Again, your next short, guys, if these guys want to get a wriggle on, your next short is going to be the R3, and you want agreement from both the FESX and also the FDAX. Okay, NASDAQ is still safe at this point in time, but we really need these sellers to tank in. Alan, how are you? I hope you're amazing. Now, I've got a couple of traders that are short on this Delta down here on the NASDAQ. We are pushing all-time highs again on both American markets, so it's actually been really difficult to trade the NASDAQ and S&P well. But mind you, I say that we picked up these incredible, S&P picked up this incredible climactic reversal. NASDAQ got the same thing at the same time. So those trades were amazing. These deltas were amazing. I just don't want a losing trade right at the end of our session. A number of traders have left because they're way over their goals. So we've got a little bit of a mixed bag today, a little bit of a mixed bag. Europe is going to sell down here, guys. No question about that. If you trade off the 150 OSR, there is a short at 765, 23765 to the downside. If you are going to go short, guys, on FDAX, you're looking at a 5-point first target. A good day, Ralph. You've had a good day in Austria. Fantastic. FDAX traders, you are definitely looking at a short at 765, please. 765, first target 760. If you need another trade, a lot of the FDAX traders have had a very, very good day. We did have a negative trade though, Alan, on NASDAQ. Sorry, FDAX, we did have a negative trade on FDAX. So it's been a little bit of a mixed bag. Those that got in early though, this classic early bird gets the worm. The early bird got the worm today. There is no doubt about that. So guys, about 90 seconds until the session is due to finish. If you are trading later on tonight, please be very aware of the high impact US news, which is coming through. That timing, guys, is at 9:30 p.m. tonight. So if you're trading the US pre-market, be very careful. Steve, you've had a phenomenal day. So 83 and a 320, right? So awesome. You are long, which is brilliant. So anybody that is long for very, very long range targets, guys, well done. We've been shorting against the long range targets today simply because most of the beginner traders are not long on long range targets. But suffice to say, it went very, very well in the first 35 to 40 minutes of the session. Right? Now these guys are starting to misbehave. So this is why our session finishes 90 minutes in. So Arlen, the lesson of the day, again, early bird gets the worm on both NASDAQ and S&P 500 again. We've had some really good trades, but we did have a negative on the NASDAQ and we have had a negative on the FDAX. So we will have to go and get those back. Flip side, it's been a really positive week so far, and S&P, NASDAQ still pushing all-time highs. So very, very difficult to navigate around that. That's me. Okay, for the big traders like Greg, he's long 12 ticks on 20 contracts and he's still long. so again, shout out to the big traders who are sitting long. But Alan, that's us. We've had a reasonable day. The FTX traders got off to a really good start, and then we've had a negative, but we've got off to a really good start, so it's not too bad. Not too bad. So.
I'm happy to hear that at least you had good trades, guys. We listen and we learn, even if we have some less successful ones. Not gonna take too much of our time, guys and girls, because I'm still facing my slight technical difficulties. So yeah, there we go. So I'm just going to say thank you so much, Lachlan, for another wonderful session. And I will see everyone here again next week, hopefully with everything sorted out and we're going to go back to looking sleek. And if I'm not mistaken, next week we have Cody joining us.
Yes. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Absolutely. So again, guys, Cody's taking you next week. I will be in Singapore for meetings next Thursday afternoon, so I won't be able to take you. But Cody will be, and it should be good fun. It should be good fun.
It always is good fun. So thank you so much, Lachlan.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for the session, and we'll see you again next week with us.
Thank you. Awesome, guys. All right. I'll see you shortly. Bye for now. Bye.
Bye.